All right, new project. I know I'm in the midst of getting ready for for the festivals and stuff, and I got a Damascus billet over there that I'll be sticking in the forge today. But I figure since I got the forge fired up, I really love my wife. So last year I made my wife a garden shovel, a little garden trowel. If you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. It turned out really well. It's made out of a coil spring, a leaf spring, and it's got actually locust and resin in the handle, and turned out really well. But today I think I might start on a new garden tool for my wife, and it's called a Hori Hori. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not Japanese. But so what this tool is it's also a garden shovel, trowel, saw, knife, measuring stick. It's a multi-tool, and I figure since I'm going to make a garden tool, I'm going to try to use this piece of steel that I've had around here for a long time. So let me show you what I got. All right, so there it is. So this used to be something on a disc set, and you can see it's actually got a fairly nice handle shape on it right here. So the hole right here, there was a lever on there that come down and pulled these two pins, these two locks that locked on this gear, so you could raise the height up and down on this disc or trowel or plow or whatever it was. And me being me, I figure let's do a hardness test. So I checked it with the grinder, and it's throwing some pretty active sparks. So I'm going to cut a slice off of it, and I will do a water quench check on it just to make sure that it will harden. This tool doesn't need to be super hard. It doesn't have to be like, knife quality, does it? I don't know. I've never made one. But I figure I'm going to use this handle shape that's on it. I kind of like it. We'll go from there. So I'm going to slice off a piece of it, and when I light the forge, we'll test it for hardness, and I'll get back with you later. All right, so yesterday I had the forge fired up. I showed you guys that old handle off of the horse-drawn farm equipment. The handle, on that long arm with the teeth to raise and lower whatever the farm equipment was. Anyway, so I cut me a piece of that off because it did spark check really well. I was curious. I did a test. I cut a thin slice off, I heated it up, I quenched it in water, I hit it with a hammer, broke like glass. It's good hardenable steel. So I decided to make a Hori Hori out of it. I've never made one before. I thought I'd make one for my wife. She likes to garden, and I like to make her stuff. So, I like to garden too, but I like to make her stuff, and maybe I'll get to use it every once in a while. So anyway, a Hori Hori, from what I've read, is a knife, shovel, saw, measuring stick. It's just an all-around garden tool. So you guys have seen the little trowels. So this is like a trowel. It will be curved like a shovel, and it's pointed like a shovel. So I wanted to keep the handle. You can see it there, the handle. So I wanted to keep the handle, but it's long, and to do it in proportion, I actually had to make it longer than I wanted. So from what I read, most of these are like 6 inches long. This one is 8 inches long plus the handle. So that's the hole that was already in it. That's fine. These lines that I have right here are 1 inch apart, and so you can measure depth when you dig and want to plant a plant. The line I have right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bevel on one side, and then I'm going to cup this. I'm going to bend this where it's cupped like a shovel, right? So I will cut a bevel on one side, this side, and say this side here will be sharp like a knife, just straight. This side here, I'll serrate for like a saw, okay? Now it's got the weight to chop, so you could chop with it, you could saw with it, you can dig with it, you can measure with it, and you know, who knows, it's a over 100-year-old piece of good virgin steel. So I'm keeping the handle so we know what it originally was. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind these bevels. You see I got laid out here. It's just going to be a pretty steep bevel, almost like an axe. But my plan is I'm going to grind these bevels, and then I want to mark my 1-inch marks, and I'm going to come in and I'll either cut it in or I will punch it in, but I'm going to come in and probably stamp numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, in inches, you know. Make it look kind of nice, something different. But I think for right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind these bevels and I'll be back. All right, I got my bevels ground. As you can see, they look pretty good. So I was thinking about this, and if I got my bevels ground here and I cup it this way, I think it would just be a little awkward. You know, my bevels are only on one side. So I think I'm going to cup it this way and use this side for the shovel. So it'll be cupped this way, right, to dig. So I went ahead and put my marks on this side now. And I think where I'm at right now is I need to serrate one of these sides. I think I might serrate this side if it's cupped this way. I don't know that it matters. I don't know. So I just feel like I'm just going to serrate this side. We'll see how that goes. I'm not for sure exactly what I'm going to do with it. But I need to serrate one side, and I need to prep it to stamp my numbers and stuff in it. I think what I'm going to do is take the angle grinder and cut little lines in so I can make it accurate. I won't lose it. If I put soapstone or whatever on it, I can lose it when I heat it up. I could center punch it. And then put my numbers and stamp my lines. But I think I might just take the little angle grinder and just cut little lines in. They don't have to be very deep. It's just a line, you know. It's just a line like on a ruler. So I'm gonna do that. I'll get this marked out a little better, and we'll see about doing some serrations on it. So I don't have a whole bunch of fancy tools, but I got files and I'm willing to work for it. So I laid out what serrations I wanted on this Hori Hori, and do it with a hand file. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I will set up the camera and video it for you guys, I guess. All right, I'm gonna go grind the flat on this, get this burr off and see how it looks. I can always take off more. Well, here it is. So you can see the serrations are on there now. I'm gonna get something black. You see how deep them are, and it's got about 5 inches of serrations, and there's the other side. So I put this line on it just to give me something to go for. And if you notice, every other tooth actually goes to the bottom of the line. I put a big tooth and a small tooth just because, why not? But now I'm feeling it, and I'm like, holy crap, is it too sharp? But I think it's just, I think it's going to just be what it is. So there's that. So now where I'm at is I got my measuring lines cut in it. I just took a little cut off wheel and just cut my lines in it. That way they're there. They're not real deep, but they're deep enough that you'll be able to see them. So what I got to do now is I'm going to put it in the forge. Not today because it's 85 degrees in here already. But I'm gonna put it in the forge, and I'll come up here and I'll put a number 1 for 1 inch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll put numbers on it. I will hit it with my touch mark. I will cup it, cup it like a shovel. So it'll be like a shovel. I will heat treat it, and we'll be done. Might make a sheath, I don't know. It'll just be a tool for around the house here. I don't know that I need a sheath for it. But there's where we're at. So I'll show it to you. If I don't get to do it when I'm forging, because I've got a bunch of knives to forge, and I'll just do this in between blades. But I will definitely come back and show it to you when it's all said and done. So there it is. From farm equipment to farm equipment. All right, here's the Hori Hori. So I got the depth marks on it, got the numbers on it. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. The serrated edge turned out really well. Got it cupped just enough. Gonna make a good digger. So tonight I'll put it in a 400-degree oven for about 90 minutes and temper it out, let it cool off nice and slow. Bring it out. I'll hit it with a wire wheel probably. It's just a tool. I took an old garden tool and created a new garden tool. So it'll get treated like one. I'll just oil it up and we'll put it into use. But there it is, the Hori Hori. All right, end of a long, warm day, but I did get the Hori Hori done. So here it is. I went ahead and polished up the handle a little bit. I did dip it in acid just to put some color on it. The inch marks come out real nice. It's got a nice serrated edge on it. It's got a regular knife edge on it. It's dished a little like a shovel. It's balanced pretty good. It's bigger than what I wanted to make. But to keep this handle of the old farm equipment, I had to put it in proportion, so it ended up, longer than what I had originally planned. But hey, I have used it a little, and I love it. My wife really loves it, and that's the important thing. But there it is, the Hori Hori, all done. Let's get to gardening.